Get NFL Sunday Ticket and you.
Alrighty. Hello and welcome everybody to the Full Send Half Mast Podcast episode number 98. Tonight, we are going to be talking about the Las Vegas Formula One Grand Prix this weekend. What a race. A world championship has been crowned and another awesome race. Vegas, what a freaking awesome track, man. Put on another great show. I said it, last week, and I truly believe it. I think Vegas has become the new Baku of Formula One. I think it's the next best wild card race. You never know what's going to happen. And we saw it again this weekend. We'll talk about that as well as preview this weekend's race at Qatar, which, again, we're going to have another watch party this weekend on Sunday for the Qatar Grand Prix. It's going to be a blast. We're going to do all the rest of the remaining Formula One races this season. And the second part of that watch party stream is going to be this weekend at Qatar. And then we also have a bunch of news we want to talk about, some silly season stuff, and some big news out of F1, maybe a little bit out of NASCAR. So I can't wait to talk about that. But first off, I got Tom here with me. He's back again on a Tuesday, man. How are you doing tonight?
Man, I'm doing a lot better than what I have been doing in the past couple weeks. I've been sick That's why I haven't been here. I really tried to make that F1 race, the watch party, but that that was a pretty rough night for me. I almost upchucked right before the stream, so um, but I'm back. I'm happy. I'm ready to talk about some racing and that kick-ass race at Las Vegas.
Heck yeah. I'm so excited. Alrighty. I think we should just start off with some news here. First off, Lamborghini out at WEC gonna go full time IMSA racing in 2025, which I'm excited for.
W.
I picked them as a dark horse to win in the offseason, bold predictions, and they just never won a race. But it sounds like what is it? Roman Grosjean's gonna be a full time driver in that car next year. At least rumors are pointing that way. It looks like it's gonna become more true by the hour. I like it. I think it's a better move for them to go run WEC or IMSA instead of WEC, especially if you're gonna try to build brand equity. I guess I think the United States is a better option for them, and I think they're gonna be more competitive this year. Now that they have a year of experience under their belt, they ran all the endurance races in IMSA. I think maybe the sprint races, maybe something that they can thrive on here in IMSA in 2025. I'm excited. I'm really excited. As much as I hate to see him not be in WEC, maybe we'll see a Le Mans run, be their one WEC race they run. I see that being a complete possibility, but running for an IMSA championship instead, I think that's a big dub.
Yeah, that's a huge W, I think. Plus, I feel like WEC is kind of like the F1 of sports car racing, and there's probably like a lot of politicking going on in there. I feel like IMSA is a lot more chill too, and I bet you they're gonna have a lot more fun in IMSA, and they could probably get some better results too. To be honest with you, so I mean, it also, yeah, it doesn't disprove anything of them not showing up at Le Mans. So, I don't know. I think it's a great move, actually.
Yeah, I
Build
agree.
that program.
And save a little bit of money because you're racing mostly in the United
Yeah.
States. You're not traveling the globe. So, and I mean, what is it? Right, IMSA? Do we have? Yeah, the 2025 schedule has been released, so we'll have to update that here in a little bit. We'll do a Discord overhaul here in the next month or so and get everything prepped for 2025. But I'm excited. I think it's gonna be a great season in IMSA next year. Alrighty, the big news. Should we just go into it, man? Cadillac
Yes.
to Formula One. It is gonna happen, dude. It's not gonna be denied. You can't hold back GM, the Americans, Andretti. I love it. You were telling me earlier that meme that you saw, dude. That was hilarious, dude. I like
Yeah,
it.
I saw a meme on X, and it was the Trojan horse right outside the walls, and above the Trojan horse it had GM. Inside the Trojan horse it had Andretti, and then the wall was branded FIA. And there was just people outside like waving them in. Yeah, come on in. Which I think is hilarious because right after they announced that they come to a preemptive deal with GM appointed Mario Andretti as the lead chairman for the project.
I love it. I'm so happy.
Oh, that's
with that.
great.
All right.
That's
Well, then
great.
that begs to kind of lead us into drivers for that team. So, a few points I want to talk about. First off, let's talk about rumored drivers. Colton Herta sounds like the front runner for this seat. I mean, I don't know. I'd hate to see him leave IndyCar, but I mean, if we're trying to try to bring an American brand, an American team, you probably want to bring an American driver in as well. I think Colton Herta would probably be your best American driver pick for that ride.
Yeah, for sure. Colton Herta is the best American driver right now for that ride for road courses. I mean, you could make some arguments. Joseph Newgarden, potentially. I forget, Joey Hand would probably be a decent pick. Kind of like a who is the backup driver or the secondary driver to Roman Grosjean at Haas when they first Esteban Gutierrez.
Gutierrez, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be like that, but my only thing that I'm kind of projecting here is that Cadillac is going to be so dog water when they first come in.
Oh, 100%.
And it's just going to be like another situation with Logan Sargent. That's worst case scenario. And, but I've got a lot more faith in Colton Herta than I do Logan Sargent. I didn't even know Logan Sargent before F2, so
That's
I
true.
mean,
Yeah, I had no idea who the hell he was either.
yeah. So, I mean,
He's
no
a Florida
disrespect.
man.
I just didn't know the dude. Yeah, right. I just didn't know of the dude. So, um, probably paid some pretty good money to be in that Williams seat. But regardless, I think Colton Herta is a good choice.
I agree. The way I look at it, if you're gonna, I really want to see Andretti kind of be like that in-betweener, that hedge team that allows IndyCar drivers, where they mostly go for IndyCar drivers to bring to F1, like an Alex Palou. I mentioned that in the chat as well. I think it'd be badass to see a Palou Herta lineup for Andretti would be fire. I think that would be a really good measure of scale, because those two are the best two drivers all year in IndyCar, no matter. I mean, maybe the points didn't reflect that, but you for sure were the best two drivers in IndyCar this year. See that kind of team, or maybe even, as much as I don't like Pat O'Ward, but maybe not Pat O'Ward in particular, but somebody like a Pat O'Ward
Well,
have an
Pato would be
opportunity.
a good pick.
I mean, he would be a good
Plus,
pick, but I just don't think that Andretti would
well,
really jump to that.
let's bring in another aspect here. Mexican drivers, just in general, this is a generalization here. They can bring very good homeland sponsors to a team. We see it with Checo. I mean, that Red Bull car used to be what, Oracle, Honda, and Bybit, and now it's got Telcel and uh, I forget. There's a bunch of other
I
sponsors
live
on
in
there
America,
now.
so I don't know.
Yeah, I remember Telcel, but that's about it.
Yeah.
But anyways, that I think it'd be a great prospect to get Pato over there in F1. Pato's a great driver. Let's be honest. It's just unfortunate he's driving for McLaren.
Yeah, 100%. True that. Yeah, I'm excited. I guess the second thing to this would be, now that we've got an 11th team on the grid, Toyota's with their interest in Haas, maybe getting their toes dipped back in the water on a sponsorship level. Maybe they want to produce their own power unit. They want to go and compete in F1. Do we see maybe an expansion in F1 where we go beyond 11 teams in the future? I mean, this is kind of a precedent. Do you think that this bleeds over to more intrigue or more buy-in? Or we get maybe 12 teams, 13 teams on the grid, which in my ideal F1, 13 teams is the perfect number. 26 grid spots, top 10 in points. I mean, that would be my ideal F1. Do we see something like that with another team? Or do you think this is kind of like the cap hole, throw America a bone?
Brother, I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm going to take the win and just hold on to it. Because how they treated Andretti really showed some true colors there. And if we could just get one team, I think the focus 100% should be there on actually getting that team to the grid.
Right.
I don't know. I guess I'm kind of indifferent about how many teams are on there. I just think that a represented American F1 team would be really cool. Haas claims to be American. They've got a headquarters here, but everything is built and dealt, R&D'd, engineered in the UK.
Yes.
So I don't know what Caddy's doing either. To be honest with you, they could be setting up the same operation. They could be having their team in the UK. But I don't know.
I feel like you kind of have to. I mean, it's kind of the same thing with like IndyCar. Most teams are right there in Indianapolis. Most teams in NASCAR right there in Charlotte, North Carolina. So IMSA, most teams are in Daytona, Florida. And then when it gets to F1, you're all basically based out of England. It's tough to compete when you're not next to your competitors, I guess. But Penske's made it work when being out of North Carolina. I mean, we saw Furniture Row eventually make it work out of Denver.
Toro Rosso makes it work.
Toro Rosso makes it work, yes.
Ferrari.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. But then again, with those, most of those are all within the same time zone, too, because North Carolina and Indiana are same time zone.
Yeah.
Italy, UK, basically same time zone. Yeah, interesting. But I don't know. I like it. Let's take it as a win. We got Andretti and F1 and Cadillac. I like it, and maybe hopefully we could see some more. I would love to see Toyota come back, honestly, as a team with a power unit. Audi. Yep. Now they're entering the sport with Sauber. I think there's just so much growth. F1 is becoming hella popular, dude. Hella popular.
Yeah.
I'll talk to some random strangers here in BFE Idaho. And they are talking about, and I mentioned F1, they actually know something about F1. Like I can have a 5-minute conversation. It's not longer than that because it's like their wealth of knowledge kind of caps out at a certain point, but they know like certain drivers, sponsors, like certain races that happened. And like, it's kind of interesting, like that some random Joe Schmo actually knows a little bit about
Are they
F1.
Lando fans?
Yeah, there's a lot of Lando fans. Max Verstappen haters.
No.
Lando Norris fans. Yes. Yes. That's most people that
they drank the Kool-Aid.
Dude,
they drank the Kool-Aid.
They're all in the Kool-Aid, man, which I can't wait to talk about that here in a minute with the F1 race this weekend. But yeah, so that's funny. But yeah, that's awesome. Good stuff for F1. I'm excited for next year, especially. I mean, we got a lot of driver changes coming next year too. It's last year with this regulation, and we're 2026, man. It's gonna be a beautiful season, dude. Especially with how competitive F1's been. So exciting stuff at F1. We'll have a, like I said, I say it all the time, we'll have a full 2025 F1 season preview coming up here during the off season. We'll have a whole episode dedicated to it. Same with NASCAR, IMSA, World Dirt Championship, IndyCar, etc. We'll do all that during the off season, but we'll keep bringing the news as it keeps happening. So thank you guys for subscribing to our Discord. If you guys want to join our awesome Discord community, the link is in the description below. You can get all this breaking news right away as well. So, all right, next set of news. We got a little bit of silly season NASCAR wise. Tricon Garage makes an announcement that their new driver of the number 5 truck for 2025 is Tony Breidinger. I know we just talked about this off stream, Tom, but I think we're both in agreement. There's really no expectation for Tony Breidinger. She's bringing a lot of sponsorship. But I did bring up a point, and I think it's a valid point. I think her expectation should be a good season would be 15 to 20th in points. That would be on par, if not better, than Dean Thompson, who would be kind of the measuring stick there. And then if she finishes outside the top 20 in points, I think that would be a failure.
Well, it's a rookie season too. The only reason why I'm disappointed here is that she didn't win a race in ARCA with the best equipment. That's the only disappointment I have.
Well, and we hyped her up so much too because we saw talent and we believed. And
her rookie year was phenomenal.
It was great.
She had what 4, 5, 6 top 10s, something like, or 5 top 5s.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
It was a great rookie season, and then literally everything halved for that second season in ARCA and running the same equipment.
You know who it reminds me of?
I'm not gonna say it.
There's so many parallels to draw through this though. Like what was her first truck start? Was 15th at Kansas, and then you look at the other person we're talking about. Her first Xfinity start was 11th or 13th at Vegas. Like, I'm just saying, dude. I don't know. There's a lot of parallels here that we could draw.
Yeah. We'll see.
All right. So we'll see. Good luck to Tony Breidinger 2025. We'll do, like I said, we'll do a full breakdown preview going into the 2025 NASCAR season during this offseason. So it should be fun. Next set of news though, also a number 5 car, Chris Wright to the Hour Motorsports number 5 in 2025. This makes no sense to me. I mean, I felt like if they would have had Anthony Alfredo back for another year, I mean, that dude put that team on the map, in my opinion, dude. Like, he had the dude wipes car, doing crazy stuff every race. I mean, making insane moves. I mean, must-watch TV was that 5 car last year, Anthony Alfredo, with some of the stuff that he did. And now we're bringing in Chris Wright, which I believe he is just a complete hack. I don't know about you, but I think he's a complete freaking hack, dude.
This reminds me of a Brett Moffitt situation.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
I was down for Anthony Alfredo. I thought he was doing a great job.
I mean, he was going to do great things in 25. He did say on social media he's got plans. I don't think he's announced them. I haven't seen anything. But, yeah, RIP, big homie. That 5 team... Look, if you're making the same decisions Austin Wayne self makes, you're doing something wrong. If you can't see that here, I highly advise you get some sort of board of directors and at least talk it out. I mean, Jesus.
I agree. I mean, let's say this, Tom. If let's say the Dega boys got gifted by Uncle Elon, I don't know, $1 billion. You just handed it to us and
$47?
said, yeah. He said, "Hey, I want the Dega boys to start a NASCAR team." I think the first two drivers I'm calling are Anthony Alfredo and I'm calling Brett Moffitt, and then I'm gonna go hire Phil Gould, and I'm gonna go hire Rich Lucas as crew chief.
Yes, that
and
honestly,
we're gonna run
I mean,
the full Xfinity schedule, and we're gonna see
you've
what
got
we do.
2 free agents, 1 that's proven, 2 that's promising. You pair them up with some of the best crew chiefs, underrated crew chiefs in the series, probably history,
100%.
and you go run. You don't even have to run a full season the first time around. Just go out there, run a couple of races. Phil Gould and Lucius, they're gonna make some damn fine race cars, and you just go see what you can do. I bet you money. Brett Moffitt will battle for a win and a few races.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I know that money drives the sport, but I mean, what the hell?
We want to see the best drivers compete against the best drivers with the best minds building and setting up race cars. I mean, why can't we get that?
Well, we probably saw the greatest injustice in the Xfinity series with a DEI hire on the number 15. So, and look how that played out for him. Seriously, who was their driver for the last 4 races? Lupton.
Yeah, Dylan Lupton. Yeah,
Dylan Lupton, the freaking BK Racing has been.
Yeah.
I mean, you went from Brett Moffitt down that low. I mean, look, when you're rock bottom, sometimes the only way you can go is up. AM Racing found new lows.
They did.
I'm just saying, awful.
It's hard.
But yeah, that's how you should build a team. Our Motorsports, welcome to rock bottom.
Yeah. This is AM Racing P2, man. Like part 2.
Yeah, it is.
Back again. This is bad. This is really bad. And with that, dude, I just really hope that Anthony Alfredo and Brett Moffitt find some success next year, or at least find some type of ride, because those guys are definitely deserving, capable drivers. I mean, if you could take an Our Motorsports team, an AM Racing team, and put those teams up towards competing for wins and for playoffs, I mean, you deserve a spot somewhere. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. All right. I'm super excited about this news, dude.
Oh, dude.
Oh, I'm so excited about this.
I saw this.
Fan, man.
I saw this and I was like, praise God, hallelujah. Because this is phenomenal. Insane.
Right when I thought that IMSA couldn't get any better for 2025, we get the announcement that Lambo's going to run full-time in IMSA, and then Robert Wickens comes out of announcement here, and he's going to run
nowhere. Left
the
field,
full
man.
season, dude, in GTD, man. I am so stoked, dude. It was just a matter of time, man. He literally was dominating in the Michelin Pilot Challenge Series. That team was leading the points until he got hurt, and then the team took a complete fall from grace. And then when he came back, they ended up winning the first race he came back, and then we're competitive for the rest of the season. Robert Wickens is an amazing race car driver, and we were talking about it, watching him back in IndyCar. It used to be so much fun. It's so good in watching him in IndyCar. Unfortunately, had the injury, really derailed his career. It's what could have been, you know? Like, what could have been of this man's racing career, and he's still going to find a way to make it a successful racing career. I mean, honestly, he could win 0 races for the rest of his career, and I still think he deserves some type of spot in the Motorsports Hall of Fame because of what the resilience, the no-give-up attitude, having to relearn how to drive, basically, and readapt to racing, finding opportunities, finding success, battling injuries. Another injury this year derailed this season in the Pilot Challenge Series. I'm just so excited for Robert Wickens, man. I love the GTD class in IMSA. I think it's one of the most entertaining. I think it's more entertaining than the prototype class. And LMP2 might be the cake there, but that's just because of another reason. Like, that's not racing related. That's more just LMP2 shenanigans. But GTD is just amazing racing. And now we're adding Robert Wickens to the fold. will that team be super successful next year? I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
GTD is like a crapshoot. Who knows?
Look, Robert Wickens got a bad back. Let's not, stray away from that, but he can sure carry a team. Let's be honest.
He's a beast. He's a beast, man.
He's a beast.
IMSA's going to be so great next year, dude. I'm so excited. We got a lot of the GTP roster lineups for next year. Also, Pratt Miller jumping up to LMP2 next year is going to be super exciting. I'm personally picking Pratt Miller as my off-season, maybe a precursor to our IMSA preview. I think they're the championship favorite going into 2025.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of technology, the amount of experience, the big heavy hitters are bringing in on the technical side there. Pratt Miller is going to be super fun to watch next year. And then we got Robert Wickens coming into GTD, the lineups in GTP. We got Lambo coming in, Aston Martin with the new Valkyrie, dude. IMSA next year is going to be like must-watch TV every single race.
You know what? You better shut your mouth because we said that last year.
That's true.
And then they pulled Daytona on us.
That's true. But then after that, it was good, though. It was good.
Sure, but let's talk crap for the first part. And then the second part, we can ride the wave.
Yeah, okay. I got you. We'll tamper our expectations for Daytona. And then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of the season. Honestly, dude, I want to get tickets to that Detroit Street Course next year, man. I think that race is going to be... I mean, that IMSA race last year, I think the Detroit Street Course took the best race of the season. Like, of any races, I think that was the best race of the season. Like, I've rewatched it like twice now over the last like month and a half. That race is just mint, dude. I honestly, I think I might get tickets to go to Detroit next year. I think that would be such a fun weekend. IndyCar and IMSA doubleheader on the streets. I think that's just gonna be badass. But I mean, we'll break it all down for you here in a couple weeks with a full preview for IMSA. I'm super excited. I think I honestly, IMSA is my favorite racing series. It just is. I love it so much. I love IndyCar too, but I mean, IMSA is just so good, man. It's just so good. Alrighty. Is there anything else you wanted to mention on any of that stuff?
Yes.
Just went
crazy. I'm good. Send it.
Okay. This is the news that you're really excited about. I think you should take this one.
Okay, anybody who is a big fan in IndyCar knows the name Michael Cannon. He is a legendary engineer, car chief. He can take any team and put it on the podium. Proven with Dale Coyne, with AJ Foyt, and now moving over to Prima. What a freaking phenomenal move for him. What a freaking phenomenal catch by Prima to catch Michael Cannon. I mean, you're starting a brand new team, right? It could be, let's say NASCAR. And, let's just say prime Chad Knaus gets on the market. And you have the opportunity to scoop him up. Man, I get a left nut for that. Seriously, Michael Cannon is the absolute GOAT in IndyCar. He's proven it multiple times. Prima, big brain moves out here. Got Schwartzman and who is the other driver? I forget.
Well, I know Logan tested for him, but I don't think he's getting the ride. I'd have to go back through the news because there's
Teo.
So much. Teo, yeah, that's right.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, look, AM Racing, R Motorsports, take some freaking notes, guys. This is how you do it. Right here. But yeah, I'm really excited for this. Prima is going to be a threat. And maybe not this year, okay? Get some experience under their belt. But by God, year 2, you better be watching out. Because if I was Prima, and I actually think they're very intelligent folks over there, especially with the moves that they've been making, they've got Michael Cannon under locks for a while.
Oh, yeah. I agree. I think that pretty much sums up the whole point of this broadcast at the beginning of the news, right? I think the 3 teams that are going to be the ones to look out for upcoming through the next few seasons, Audi, every time in F1, every time they jump into motorsports, they always go in big appendage swinging, and they're making some big time moves with the Sauber purchase, and they're going to be a team to contend in the future. Pratt Miller in IMSA with LMP2, that team has set themselves up in a positive position to be a dominant force in LMP2 and carry LMP2 for years to come. And then obviously Prima to IndyCar, they are making the right moves. They've got the right drivers, I think. In my opinion, I think they got the best lineup. They're doing it on the technical side. I think that next year is going to be like, those 3 teams and those 3 different series are going to be fun as hell to watch and cheer for. There's no bad decisions, I think, being made across any of the boards there. I'm super. Already brings in Hulkenberg as a driver.
Dude,
like
all those teams made phenomenal decisions, man. I mean, like,
Unbelievable.
seriously, they've got a phenomenal board of directors. They've got people making decisions that, you know, if that just need to be making all the decisions. They've already proved it. Like everything you just said. I mean, these guys are doing it right. Seriously, the IndyCar paddock should be worried about Prima. They really should be. Really,
and they've got young owners that are energetic. I mean, I don't know if you guys seen any interviews or anything with the owners there at Prima, but man, those dudes are so freaking entertaining to listen to. Like, they're gonna shake things up in IndyCar to a point that IndyCar is gonna be so marketable and fun to watch, because there's just like new blood coming in that's just trying to change the mold of IndyCar, and it's not the Zach Brown way. We'll talk about that later. It's not the Zach Brown way. It's another way to do things, and I'm so excited for 2025. I mean, 2025 might have just been a little bit premature on this whole the premier era of motorsports with 2024. I think 2025 might be that year. I don't know. I don't want to jinx it. We might have to hold off on that moniker until we get mid-season. But yes, I mean, we had that whole segment, what the hell is happening, earlier this year. We could have made a second one with all the crap that has been happening. We might do that this offseason. We might do another one of those to round out the season. Obviously, we'll do the 12 days of motorsports, all the fun stuff during the offseason. But I mean, wow, what a year 2024 was, man. And we're almost to the end of it now.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh, man. All right, I think that will do the news for today. There's one other thing I do want to talk about this weekend is Dale, right? I mean, all of my X feed the last like 3 days just blew it up with Budweiser, Dale, 8 car, Florence Motorsport. There was this awesome video I saw where they did old school VHS filming of like Florence with Dale Jr. And it was like super freaking cool, man. I don't know. Dale Jr. gets in on a provisional for the South Carolina 400. Ends up driving his way through the field. He got up to like second by the halfway point, and then has a fuel pump issue out of the race. What a drive by Junior, man. That was impressive, dude. I enjoyed that weekend thoroughly. I was a little skeptical because I was like, I mean, yeah, he's had some starts in the Cars Tour. He's ran decent at places, maybe not so decent at others. I was like, he's probably not going to make the race. He was pretty confident not making the race. They gave him a provisional. they literally just gave him a free provisional. They could not have the 8 car not make the field. And not only did he take the provisional, he ran with it, man. He ran up to second. He could have been a threat to win the damn race without fuel pump issues. I was impressed. What a run by Dale Jr. this weekend.
I'm pretty sure they had like an oxygen machine waiting for him after he got out of the car. Poor son of a gun. That guy was struggling, it looked like. He's
still wheeling and dealing, dude. He just turned 50, man. He's still wheeling and dealing. I like it, man. I want to see him run some more. That was fun to see, man. I think that was cool. I think the race kind of gets overshadowed just by the marketing. I mean, Budweiser, what a fantastic job marketing. I mean, my X feed, I'm not even kidding. I was scrolling through it, and it was just Dale Jr. 8 Budweiser, like for 30 scrolls. Just everything was Budweiser, Dale Junior Nation, Alabama Bama Man's just posting everything, man. It was crazy. It was like, what else is happening in the world? I don't know. I mean, check the X feed. It's just all Junior stuff, man. It was cool, man. I mean, the amount of popularity and pull this guy still has, dude, is just unbelievable. We say it all the time. He is Dale Jesus, man. Like, it is a fact.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, man. So, yeah, good job by Dale Jr. this weekend. If you guys watched that, let us know what your guys' opinion was on that race. I think that was pretty awesome to see him still wheeling and dealing. Alrighty, man. I think it's time we talk about this weekend's Las Vegas Grand Prix. What a freaking race, by the way, man. I enjoyed the hell out of this. I went last year. It was a freaking awesome race last year. I think it was the best race of all of last year. I think this race lived up to the same hype, in my opinion. Qualifying didn't go too well for Calapinto. Ends up wrecking there in qualifying. Unfortunate. Had to start from the pit lane. I'm really high on Colapinto, and I know you are too, Tom. So it's kind of sad to see that he had some issues there. Also, Lewis Hamilton in qualifying didn't really get the result that he was expecting. I mean, right there at the end, and ends up qualifying P10, which was kind of surprising because of how fast the Mercedes were. I said at the beginning of the watch party, Tom, those Mercedes, they were so fast in practice and qualifying, but I was like, I just don't see them having that pace during the race. Like, we both had Ferrari pinned to win this race. Even in the offseason, I think we both predicted Ferrari was going to win this race. We predicted all the way up till the race leading up. But this was just a Mercedes race, man. George Russell qualifies on pole. Charles Leclerc. Let's talk about Leclerc first, right? At the beginning of the race, he's battling with George Russell for the lead. I mean, I know it didn't happen. It didn't work out for him. But that move that he made on the exit of turn 17 to try and go side by side with George Russell there, dude, I literally almost shat bricks, man. That was the craziest thing I've ever seen, dude. I would have never thought somebody could ever make a move on the exit 7. Know what it reminds me of turn 17 in Vegas, Tom? It reminds me of Indianapolis. Like, that corner reminds me of Indianapolis in so many freaking ways, man. And I think, honestly, I think that could end up becoming one of the most premier turns in all of F1, dude. I really do. I mean, if we could figure out how to make a pass on the outside there, if somebody could pull it off one of these races, I think that's going to be a staple in Formula One in Vegas.
I saw a shot of turn 17. It was ground level, and it was like kind of looking at the apex of the corner, And the cars going around that corner at the speed that they were going, sparks flying, drivers just absolutely pinned to the right as they're going through the corner. What an incredible shot, dude.
Oh, it's corner, crazy. In person, too. That's where I sat last year, and it's insane watching them fly through there in person, man.
Yeah, that corner is impressive. And the cars handling that corner is impressive. There's no other vehicle on the planet that could do it like that. Like an F1 car. No, there's no way. It's insane.
It's phenomenal, man. But yeah, he unfortunately wasn't able to make the pass, but he made a valiant effort and ran his tires down. I think we talked about this or before we started the podcast, but I thought it was going to be a one-stop race like last year. I did not expect the tire wear, and I'm trying to figure out what the difference was from last year to this year. The temperatures seem to be pretty similar to last year to this year. Ran at the same time of day, basically the same weekend as last year. I'm trying to figure out what was the difference in the tires there.
I don't know. They probably just brought a different compound. Honestly.
Yeah. I mean, that's really the only logical thing I can think of, because I'm here for it. I mean, it would have been a great race, one stop or two stop, in my opinion. It would have been a great race regardless. But the fact that we had a two stop was awesome. Insane. I do want to talk about McLaren first, though. So the World Championship battle between Verstappen and Norris, basically coming down to Norris has to gain 5 points on Verstappen to be able to stay World Championship eligible going into the final two races. It doesn't happen. McLaren looked pedestrian in this race. Piastri had the restart violation that cost him 5 seconds on the first pit stop. There's a little bit of controversy there. The McLaren fans with their mouths wide open looking at TV again, freaking out about it. It was obvious to me that it was a restart violation. But
Norris got away with it in Miami. Remember that?
That's true. That is true. Norris did get away with it in Miami. But yeah, I mean, let's talk about McLaren. What happened? What happened? How did McLaren go from the best team to the worst?
Certified Walmart dog water. They're just terrible. They're just bad. I mean, you want to talk crap? Have it to back up. So, I don't know, karma.
I think it's hilarious, man.
Yeah, I mean, if you're really wanting to play mind games, holy crap, are you bad at it? I mean, that was for real. You're just bad. Sucks to suck, I guess.
I just think it's so funny, the pure desperation out of them, because Lando Norris obviously doesn't win the world title. Max Verstappen does win the world title. What a great drive by him. We'll talk about that more here in a second. But so at the end of this race, Ferrari's having a decent race. Zach Brown, the clown, the Brownstein, he ends up going on the broadcast, and they're talking to him, and he's saying This is when you know you are at poverty level 0, dumpster fire. They ask about the strategy and how they can get back into this race. He goes straight into rooting for Ferrari. Not Ferrari. He's rooting for Mercedes. Like, come on, Mercedes! Woo! Come on!
Yeah, Hamilton needs to pit.
Yeah, we need Hamilton and Russia to beat the Ferraris today because we can't do it. We can't beat them on track. So we need somebody else to beat them. What a clown, man! Who does that? Goes on and starts begging and pleading for another team to do better than you because you suck. What is wrong with this guy, man? What is wrong with the McLaren team? The fans? Oh,
even
my
the fans,
God.
man.
This is
Fans
just
are bad.
tragic.
Fans remind me of circa 2017, 2018 Mercedes fans, man. You guys are bad. I mean, honestly, at one point in this season, you guys were worse than Lewis Hamilton fans. I mean Mercedes fans. Sorry, you guys were awful. I mean, the whole Miami deal with Norris jumping the start. I mean, it's like everybody busted out their Dollar General knee pads for him.
That's what I was gonna say.
It's just crazy. It's crazy.
That's what I was gonna say. How did it feel to be on your freaking hands and knees cheering for Mercedes this weekend? You damn freaking McLaren fans! Get on them knees, little boy. Get on them knees. How bad you have become. How freaking irrelevant you have become to be voting for Mercedes to beat Ferrari because you guys can't. How sad. I mean, you guys definitely are closeted Mercedes fans. You have to be. You got freaking Mercedes hats in your closet, and you are throwing them on when Zach Brown's out there begging for Mercedes to beat Ferrari. Yeah, come on. Come on now. That is some clownery right there. This is what we keep talking about. It keeps coming back around, doesn't it? How does it feel to be on them knees? Oh,
every time.
Man. It's so bad. So yeah, tires became an issue. So Leclerc ends up fading after that valiant effort he tried to put on Russell. What a stint there by Russell, though. Him and Hamilton both stayed out way longer than everybody else and were faster. Like, Russell not only stayed out, but he gained the gap to those guys on the hard tires with the fading medium tires. I mean, I guess I said this at the beginning, but I did not expect this out of Mercedes this weekend. Where did that speed come from? That was unbelievable weekend by Mercedes.
Yeah, it really was. They brought a really good car. Unfortunately, Hamilton did have, a qualifying session that was, I think it was pretty much out of his control. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, it could be in conjunction with Red Bull bringing the wrong rear wing, and then they had to do a DIY project in the garage on their rear wing. Did you see that?
Yeah,
a big old cutting wheel, and they were cutting on the rear wing, and
that was fun to watch. Actually, I enjoyed that.
Is it really that hard to overnight a rear wing from the UK?
No. I think you posted that one.
Dude, we've got companies shipping dildos to the freaking Mongolian hills from freaking Canada. I mean, what do you mean you can't ship a rear wing? It doesn't matter in the end because, they still pulled it off. But I'm just at that point I was like, oh man, Red Bull's screwed, man. They're screwed. But nah.
Not for Verstappen. Can't hold him.
We good.
You put him in a clutch situation, dude, he's going to find a way to succeed. And he was running P2 for most of the race until the end, and obviously didn't have the pace when the Ferraris finally figured their stuff out with the tire issues. And then obviously for Hamilton, I was going to do driver bonehead of the week this week, and I just decided it was kind of a moot point to do a poll or any nominees, but I do want to nominate one person. Because I said this during the watch party, and Tom actually jumped in and said the exact same thing I said during the watch party. He said that when he jumped in here before we started this podcast. But damn, this is probably the second best drive of Lewis Hamilton's entire career, right behind Silverstone earlier this year. This drive by Lewis Hamilton was absolute Chad God tier. Again, proving why he's the greatest of all time. I mean, this is one of those drives that I was in absolute shock. I wanted him to win personally by the end of that race. Watching him cut what was it, 15 seconds, and he cut it all the way down to like 4 seconds at one point. I don't know how much. Granted, to be fair, how much was George Russell sandbagging, not really pushing, leading the race that far ahead, but still, Hamilton looked like a man possessed wanting to win that race. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that was an insane drive. Still nothing compared to Silverstone this year. That was freaking amazing. But I mean, this was a damn good drive. You got to put that in the top 5 for sure.
What I was hoping, I think it was about halfway during the race when everybody kind of looked like they were going to go to that 2-stop strategy. I was like, man, this would be a great opportunity for Mercedes to just say screw it and put Hamilton on a 1-stopper and just see what happens. And they didn't do it. They didn't do it. But that would have been really interesting to see George Russell try to run Hamilton back down after he was on a 1-stop compared to the 2-stop. I think it would have been theatrics, you know? It would have been magical, but we didn't get to see that. Well, we did see a great drive by Lewis Hamilton at the end. He comes home P2 behind George Russell. Carlos Sainz ends up prevailing out of the Ferrari battle. He made some great moves. He got by Leclerc early when Leclerc was fading on the tires in that first stint. That kind of set him up. And then he ended up getting by Verstappen at the end to get onto that podium. But there was that, right after that pit stop, after that first stint there, Tom. Damn, that was some good race. We had K-Mag and Lawson throwing shoulders at each other, dude. That was entertaining as hell. I loved the hell out of that. It was cool because it was Yuki and Hulkenberg battling. And then right behind them, it's Lawson and Magnussen. It was like Haas versus Toro Rosso, buy one RB cash out, get one free teams, battling it out, man. That was insane racing, man. I enjoyed it, especially when like the leaders had pitted, cycled back in with the guys extending that first stint. There was a train of like 15 cars lined up, dude, battling through the field there. I mean, that was just cinematic, dude. That was some damn good racing. I enjoyed that part of the race so much.
I really enjoyed when Yuki Tsunoda was coming off of pit road and just smashed that pit road sign.
That was beautiful. Oh, that
really was so reminded me of our good friend Hung Money from the Cup Series.
Yeah, dude. That was memorable, man. Oh, and then also what was memorable is we say it all the time, but whenever Checo gets by one of these RB get one free cars, it seems like he turns on his Darth Vader mode, dude. Like what did he do? Send it 3 wide down into turn 14 off the Las Vegas Boulevard onto the inside of K-Mag and Lawson, dude. That was the most desperate thing I've ever seen, and somehow he didn't kill the entire field right there. That was impressive.
Oh, it's because the other two realized, dude, we're battling for 12th. What the hell? You know,
oh man, I could just imagine what the crowd was doing at that moment. Because when I went last year, man, when Checo took the lead, it was like, "Hello, hey Checo." I wonder if they did that again for that.
No,
that was so great, man. That was like the desperation. Oh, also ripping the chat for Pierre Gasly, man. That's so unfortunate, dude. What a great qualifying run. Qualifies P3. I picked Ocon because I kind of thought Ocon might do a little better last year. But Gasly had a really good run going, man. I think he was going to score points in this race, and unfortunately had an engine issue set him behind in this race. Man, the Alpines have really turned around their 2024 right here at the end, which is good to see, but just unfortunate for Gasly.
Yeah. R.I.P. I just have no words. I'm a big Gasly fan. I have been the past couple of years, and I just can't really expect anything. Yeah, I mean, it's freaking awesome. He qualified P3. You could see it in the chat, in the Discord, when he qualified P3 and my reaction to it. But the heartbreak, man, it's just too much.
Yeah, it's just rough, man. It's rough. It took him out at lap 16. Albon, he also had a power unit. He ended up DNFing out of this race. I mean, I do want to talk about Colapinto for a second, though. What he ended up being so far behind with that wreck from qualifying, but he did a decent job climbing through the field. I think he beat Bottas on speed. Obviously, Gasly and Albon were out before him. What he come on like P16? What a run by Calapinto this weekend to turn a really bad situation and being so far behind the 8 ball, where only really the chance he had to get back into that race would have been a safety car, and it never happened, and he still was able to get the most out of it this weekend. Great job by him. Also, shout out to Joe. I do want to say something. It really legitimately looked like he was going to be able to score a point this weekend for Salva, man. It really did there for a little while, and then they just fell off a cliff by the end of that race, man. Their pace was gone. That would have been cool to see, man. I was really pulling for that point, dude. I mean, honestly, that would have been so magical. It just didn't happen.
Yeah.
Oh, man. What else do we want to talk about in this race? Oh, yes. I do want to talk about Sainz for a second. He's over the radio bitching about tires. I hate me now, dude. These tires are gone. They're garbage. And his radio was dead silent, man. Dead silent. And then he goes over the radio. He's like, come on, guys. We got to go to plan C. Like, this is terrible, guys. Pit me. Come on. And they're just still dead silent. And then eventually they come back over the radio and says, no, Carlos, stay out. Stay out on the track. I'm like, this is typical Ferrari crap right here. I love it. I love it so much, man. And then he like ends up pitting or what is it? He goes to pit in front of Hamilton, and then he darts back onto the track after he's committed to the pit lane. Doesn't get a penalty somehow. Blows my mind. But Hamilton's bitching about it, like, what the hell was that? What's he blocking me for on pit entry? And then Carlos Sainz goes over the radio. He's like, guys, you gotta communicate with me. Come on, why are you guys being quiet? That was the most Ferrari thing I've ever seen, man. That was great action right there, man. I loved it, every bit of that. Oh man, I couldn't even imagine, dude. I don't even know what's going through the mind of Carlos Sainz there, because like honestly, I don't even know. And then I was just one of those moments, dude, that just I had me rolling in the watch party. I was having such a great time enjoying that moment. But yeah, I don't know how he didn't get a penalty. He still comes home P3, leads the Ferrari charge. Verstappen, world champion, man. Unbelievable. There was points of the season where I thought it was going to slip away from him. What a way to clutch the end of the season. With a car that's definitely not even close to championship competitive towards the end of the season. Unbelievable season. 4 in a row for Max Verstappen, dude. This is insane. This is insane. What we're seeing out of Max Verstappen.
The next Vettel.
Unbelievable. I mean, we'll get into it in 2025, but unbelievable. And then obviously Lando Norris gets a fast lap at the end of the race. They tried to mitigate the damage that they had to Ferrari. Try to go for the fast lap at the end for that bonus point. They have already conceded the championship at that point because there's no way they're going to be able to score 5 points on Verstappen. It was just not going to happen. But they do get an extra point there at the end. So next thing I want to talk about, Tom, is Constructors' Championship. So right now, McLaren, 26 points over Ferrari with a sprint race and 2 Grand Prix remaining. Can Ferrari do it? Can Ferrari win the Constructors' Championship?
Yes, they can absolutely do it. McLaren's falling apart, man. It's falling apart. That was evident in Vegas. What makes you think that it's not going to be evident for the next 2 races or 3 races, whatever it is? I think Ferrari's going to be the constructor champion. Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the math. So sprint race, the most that they can get is 8. Let's say, I'm just trying to think of the easiest path for them to get there, or the most likely path. Let's say they finish. I think. Well, we'll get into it, but I think Mercedes is going to be pretty good this weekend. So I'm going to say,
yeah.
Let's say they gain 2 points in the sprint race. They gain another 8 in the Grand Prix. That put them at 16 behind going into the final race. Can they make up 16 in one race? I think they've got to gain like 10 this weekend, or 12 probably this weekend. 12 to 14.
Well, you know what we're not taking into account here? The Zach Brown effect.
Yeah, that's true. That's a whole nother layer to this onion, dude.
Yeah. I think they're going to be fine. I think Ferrari can do it.
I think so too. That was my prediction. That's my last bold prediction I have left remaining, Tom, because I think you've got 2 correct so far. by the end of the season. Well, I mean, you could still get Gasly could win a Grand Prix. I think you said that in the offseason. There's still a possibility.
Oh, man.
You got 2 more
But
chances.
it's not gonna happen.
But my last one I have remaining is Ferrari wins a Constructors Championship this year. I picked for Leclerc to win 2 races. He did that. I picked Ferrari to win the Constructors title. It looks like they might have an opportunity to do that. Everything else failed for me this year. So we'll review that again during the offseason. We'll go back through our bold predictions and see where we kind of stack there. I think 2 out of 10 though for both of us. I feel like that's pretty successful for bold predictions.
That's pretty damn good. You know what, Jay? I was talking with some people. Somebody put $10 on Joey Logano winning the championship this year. It paid out 30 grand.
Jeez.
What are we doing, man?
I know. Dude.
We need to put price picks up on here.
I know, but it's not freaking legal in my state, which sucks, dude.
Apparently really?
It might be hitting. I heard something on the radio the other day that we might be getting it here soon. Like, I think that they're going to try and pass some legislation to get sports betting legalized in the state of Idaho. So we'll see. We'll see.
Brother, that's a rip.
But when that happens, though, Tom, we're going to have a whole segment on the podcast dedicated to to motorsports betting. We'll do like our top bets, wagers. We'll have a whole segment for it.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. I mean, look, we called it, Jay. We called Joey Logano winning the championship.
We did.
Imagine,
we literally said it. Like,
yeah. Imagine if we put $100 on it, Jay.
Oh, I know.
That's $300K.
It's crazy.
Man, we could have bought out Talladega for a whole weekend.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, that would have been great. Yeah, I know that definitely that's something that I would like to see happen in my state because that would be a fun segment to do every week on the podcast. We have our fantasy, obviously. I think it'd be good to do a maybe even a second podcast a week. Maybe do like a 30-minute just weekly wagers on races this upcoming weekend. Who's a good pick, long shots, dark horses, all that kind of stuff. Betting favorites. Yeah, I think that'd be fun to do. Is there anything else you want to add to this F1 weekend, man? Thoughts on Vegas? I love it. Like I said, I think it's the new Baku of F1. I think it's such a wild card race. We saw it. I mean, Gasly qualifies P3. Last year we saw Ocon and Stroll get into the top of the points. World Championship gets decided at Vegas. I think that's awesome, man. That potentially a World Championship gets crowned in Vegas. What a great spot for that to be crowned at.
Agree.
And like I said, I think once somebody gets the rabbit out of the hat and makes that pass on the exit of turn 17, man, I think that is the day that this track becomes the greatest track of all time, dude. I'm not gonna lie. When Leclerc almost pulled it off, dude, I was absolutely bricks were being shat at that moment. I was completely dumbfounded by that. That was insane. Oh man. All right, I think it's time. Let's preview this weekend's race. We got Qatar. We'll do the watch party on Sunday morning. If you guys are around, we'll do another watch party right here on this channel for the Grand Prix weekend. But we do have a sprint race this weekend, Tom. So I think that's where we got to start off first.
Yes.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. This race is later in the year than it's been before. Oh, where am I thinking here, LaSalle? I know the World Championship's decided, but Max Verstappen, I think, he's only lost one sprint race all year, right? If I'm not mistaken. I think he does it again. I think Verstappen's going to do it again. I think that with him being able to have the pace to win an entire Grand Prix with this car is a long shot. But you put him in a sprint race opportunity where he could play a little bit of mind games, a little bit of blocker. I think Verstappen can definitely qualify up front here, and I think he can win another sprint race. I'm going to take Verstappen in the sprint race this weekend to get the job done. And then when it gets to maybe somebody that I think could score points, dark horse this weekend in the sprint race, I think Yuki Tsunoda is the guy I'm looking at for the sprint race this weekend to score points. Vegas really wasn't as good of a showing as I think they wanted. He still scored points in the Grand Prix. Was definitely the head over shoulders better than even Checo was, which is not a shocker at all. But I think Tsunoda's somebody to watch this weekend to have a good run. Send out this Visa Cash App, buy one get one free season in the sprint race this weekend.
All right, for my favorite, look, I'm gonna kind of reference last year a little bit. Mercedes was fast. All right, I mean they were, with all the issues and struggles that they've been having with this new car, they actually had a really phenomenal race. I think they finished P4 with Russell, and I think Hamilton may have had some issues, if I recall. But you know what? With the recent performance and surprise of Vegas, I absolutely think Mercedes is going to be a threat here. And I don't think it's going to be Hamilton. It's going to be Russell. I think Russell's going to win this race. I think Mercedes is doing this, man. I think we're going to see Mercedes back to normal form next year. I really do. I think that and their performance is showing it. They're having a very strong end of the year here. So I'm gonna go with Russell, and then for my dark horse, I'm gonna go with Hülkenberg because it's Hulkmania time, baby.
Hulkamania's running wild. Heck yeah, dude. I like those picks for the sprint race. I'm not sure. I think the sprint race is 17 laps, maybe 18 laps if I'm not mistaken. So it'll be interesting to see. That'll be on Saturday. So that'll be fun to be interesting to see how that all lines out. But then when it comes to Grand Prix Sunday, the watch party that we'll be here for, I'm with you. I'm with you on this whole Mercedes thing. Mercedes really impressed me at Vegas because we've seen it many times this year already where Mercedes qualifies up front, but they just never have the like I think Russell alluded to it in his post-race interviews. Like, we've had so many races this year where we qualified on pole and then it just got away from us at the end, and it just didn't feel like that was the case at Vegas. And I think Qatar's going to race as similar to how Vegas was. And I think those Mercedes cars, just the amount of pace that they have, and maybe not straight line speed compared to like a Ferrari, but dang, LaSalle is one of those really technical, high downforce turn type racetracks. And I think that's going to suit this Mercedes car so well that I don't think you're going to be able to compete with the Mercedes over an entire length of an entire race here. And with that being said, I'm as hell of impressed with the run he had. I think he qualifies better at LaSalle than he does at Vegas, and I think that's going to be the difference here. I think he's head over heels a better driver than Russell. I do. And I think it'd be awesome to see Hamilton win one more race before the end of this year. So I'm gonna take him to win this race this weekend. I think it's gonna be Mercedes 1-2, regardless. If Hamilton doesn't win, it'll be Russell. I think it's definitely a lock that they're gonna be a 1-2. And then for my dark horse, like Tom said, Hulkamania is running wild, man. He's gonna score points again. Haas, Audi's sitting there right now with a big grin on their face, like, we got that guy next year, dude. This is awesome. Hulkenberg is gonna be in the points again this weekend. What a drive! What a season Hulkenberg's had, man. Unbelievable.
For sure. Look, I would go ahead and choose Russell again, but you know what? After that radio transmission I heard of Charles Leclerc after Las Vegas, man, grow up. We're going with Sainz, baby. We're going with the W at LaSalle, my boy. Yeah. Look, do I think they can win? No, probably not. I think Mercedes is going to take the dubs. But I'm doing it out of spite, my brother, and I like Sainz, and I feel bad. He's going to Williams next year. What a deal Williams is getting! What a deal!
No doubt.
What a deal! And then for my dark horse, I'm going with Hulkamania again. I just think it's a no-brainer. I really do. That's about it.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah, I like it. I guess we could do something kind of fun here. We've had the record breaking. First time in F1 history, we've had 7 different drivers win multiple races in the same season in F1. Unbelievable. All right. But we've only had 7 winners. If there's one driver, Tom, in the entire grid that has not won a race this year that could win one in the final 2, who would be your most likely pick to do that?
Are we talking about driver ability or current situation with driver ability and car?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. I mean, we're talking about colossal dramatics, crazy safety cars, crazy times, weather coming to, like, anything could be a factor in this.
Tsunoda.
That's what I was going to say. Tsunoda. I think Tsunoda's the one driver that could, equipment. I think they've got a little bit of an edge over Haas by a little bit, but I think they can do it.
The like you said, the only way that it could be possible is through crazy theatrics, crazy race, and the only team that can ever capitalize on craziness is Red Bull.
Yeah.
It's always been Red Bull. Every rain race, 2021, everybody remembers Abu Dhabi 2021, and anything in between. Pierre Gasly at Monza, taking control of that situation. I mean, these guys are prepared for that, like literally on a minute time, not even a minute, a second by second basis. That is what gives Tsunoda the edge. Is his team.
Yeah. I'm thinking the same thing. I'm thinking 100% the same thing. It'd be Tsunoda. So if we do see an 8th winner out of just absolute shenanigans chaos, look to Tsunoda to be that guy.
Actually, and it can happen because it happened in 2020 when George Russell replaced Hamilton at the oval circuit one. The weird freaking configuration they did. And he was going to win the race. Caution came out with like 5 laps to go and lost it.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see, man. I'm excited for this weekend's race. LaSalle's I think it's a fun circuit, man. Especially when like the World Endurance Championship went there. It was a great race earlier this year. I think the F1's gonna do just as good. And got Tom Ferrari with Sainz taking the dub. Still think Mercedes is the team to beat. We'll see what happens this weekend. Hamilton maybe can be the one to get the job done. All right, final segment here. I do want to talk about fantasy because I changed my fantasy lineup. I said I was going to do it after Vegas because I wanted to round out the season with a decent lineup. So I did change my lineup. I got Hamilton, Piastri, Hülkenberg, Tsunoda, and Colapinto as my 5-driver lineup.
Dang, dude.
Yeah.
Why you got to do me like that?
I took a big hit, dude. I took a big hit to make that happen, but dude, I just knew I had to change it.
What are the points?
I believe we're both getting our butts kicked by somebody else right now. I'd have to look at it. Actually, I could probably pull it up right now. Let me look.
F1 Fantasy. I haven't checked it. I'm not gonna lie to you, because this fantasy game, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of pissed me off when I found out that every time I changed my driver, it was penalizing me.
I know, right? That's why I stuck with my bad lineup for so long, and now I put myself so far out. We'll see what the standings are in our group. Let's see. Leagues. Private leagues. Right here, Dega Boys. Right now, TGZ is absolutely obliterating us right now. He's at 36.80. I'm at 35.23, and you're at 31.61.
How far behind am I from you? I'm sorry, I missed that.
You're about 300.
Oh my gosh! All right, well, we're gonna have to change this real quick.
I'm 160 behind TGZ, so that's a climb. We'll see if I can close that gap over this next 2 weeks. I think I've got a lineup now that I'm confident in. But look at his lineup, though, man. This isn't even fair. He's got Carlos Sainz, K-Mag, Hülkenberg, Bottas, Tsunoda with McLaren and Red Bull. That's where he's beating us, dude. The manufacturers, dude. He's killing us there. What? And Haas hasn't been a sleeper, neither is Tsunoda. I mean, he's got a good lineup. He's killing us. I mean, I've got Mercedes and Alpine as my 2 manufacturers. I really don't know why I put Alpine in there, but I'm just going to stick with it. Well, I do know why I put him on there, because they really turned it around here at the end of the season. I mean, Ocon, if he didn't have that bad Q2, he probably would have qualified top 10, and that who knows what would have happened there. And Gasly, if he didn't have those issues, he could have been an easy points getter too. They could have had 2 Alpines scoring points this weekend. So, and then last weekend they had double podiums. Or last race, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna be able to catch the TGZ guy, man. He shout out to you, man. You definitely spanked us this year in fantasy.
He did a freaking good job, man.
Yeah, he out big brained us for sure. We went emphasis on drivers. He went emphasis on manufacturers, and I think that's what got us, dude. Because, I mean, look at how much he's scoring on manufacturers alone. 66 for McLaren, 55 on Red Bull last weekend. And then Sainz gave him a 62 with the double DRS points on Sainz. I mean,
I think
you can't compete with
I think maybe I can do something here, Jay. I really can't. I really can't. Yeah, you know what? Okay, here we go. I got Lewis Hamilton, George Russell, and the nobodies: Alexander Albon, Zocon Yu, and Franco Colapinto.
There you go. That's not bad. I like that. I like that going into what we've seen over the last few weeks. I mean, that's not a bad lineup. The only problem is now, how do you squeeze your manufacturers out of there?
Oh, you about to be surprised, my brother.
Okay.
I got McLaren and Mercedes.
Oh, okay. Tom's making a resurgence late in the season. I love it. Let's see how that works out. And then you can put your double DRS chip on one of the Mercedes drivers, and then boom.
I'm going to put it on old Georgie.
There you go.
Minus 40 points.
I mean, I think it's worth it, dude. It's not like you're going to be able to close up anyway, but you can make it respectable, and you might be able to beat me. Who knows?
That was a bad 40 points. Dude, yeah. Hell yeah, brother. We got this.
I mean, I took my 40-point hit. Without my 40-point hit, I'm only down by 120, but I just don't think I was going to be able to do anything better with the lineup I had, so I felt like I'll just throw a Hail Mary at it here at the end of the season.
Yeah.
2 races left. I mean, you never know. You never know what happens here. Well, 3 races, technically, because we got a sprint race, so who knows?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well, that's our fantasy lineup for this weekend's race at Qatar. Is there anything else we missed here tonight? I'm trying to think back. We covered all the news. We went over the F1 Grand Prix, another fantastic race in F1 at Vegas. We went over Constructors Championship and the path that Ferrari had to make it. We talked about old Del Jesus' run at Florence. Shout out to Lewis Hamilton. What an amazing run he had this weekend. We went over the preview for the races as well as our fantasy lineup. Yeah, I guess we can kind of get into it. So for the off season, Tom, we're going to have next week is going to be episode 99. That is going to be our Qatar Grand Prix finale or recap show. And then episode 100. Oh boy. Episode 100. 2 Tuesdays from today. We're hitting into the triple digits. We're going to be talking about the finale at Abu Dhabi on that podcast, as well as we're going to do something special on that podcast as well. Unfortunately, Jared is not going to be able to make it because he is currently in school on Tuesday night, so that's unfortunate. But maybe we could get Dallas in here. Maybe we can get somebody else in here. Maybe Donovan, maybe. We'll see if he wants to jump in here. But we're going to have something special for our episode 100. I'm going to see if I can work on putting something together. Maybe we'll have like a tribute video or something. Maybe we'll react to something. I don't know. We'll do something fun for episode 100. You guys are definitely not going to want to miss that. And it's going to be absolutely fantastic. And then during the off season, like I said, we're going to have a whole breakdown of series. We're going to do an entire World Endurance Championship season preview for 2025. We'll go over the schedule, go over driver lineups, go over predictions on who we think wins races and championship. We'll have a whole breakdown of that. Same with IMSA, same with F1, IndyCar, and NASCAR going into 2025. So those will be some fun podcasts this off season. We're also going to do our 12 days of Christmas or our 12 days of motorsports like we did last year during the Christmas time. We'll also do our bold predictions again. We'll probably do like a recap of our 2024 and then jump into our 2025 bold predictions as well. We'll also have another podcast referring to what's happening. We might do another one of those in this off season. Maybe review or recap some more of the crazy shenanigans that happened at the end of 2024. The preview into 2025. We're gonna have another watch party after this weekend, or this weekend we'll do Qatar. Then we'll obviously do the final one in December for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and then we're gonna do a Chili Bowl. This is the one I'm so excited about, Tom. Get that flow racing going. We're gonna do a whole day live stream of the Chili Bowl from the beginning of Saturday, Chili Bowl Saturday. We'll start with the lowest of low mains all the way to the A main for the Chili Bowl. That's gonna be a ton of fun. Hang out in here, just watch some good old-fashioned dirt racing at the Chili Bowl. And then we'll do the Rolex 24 again, which we might do something a little different with that. We might do maybe the beginning of the race, maybe a middle stint, end of the stint. We'll figure something out there because I want to do that watch party as well. And then we'll run it back to fan votes starting in February again, so that'll be fun. So lots of good stuff happening during the offseason. It might be the offseason in racing, but it's never an offseason here at the Dega Boys Broadcasting Network. There's going to be so much more news, previews, everything happening in the motorsports world that you guys are going to want to stay up to date with. All of our rants, our raves, our hot takes, our BDN moments that we want to talk about. Whatever it may be, we're gonna have it all here every Tuesday for you guys during this off season. If you need your racing fix, you find us here every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And with that being said, man, I think that does it. I think that does it. Oh, by the way, it is Thanksgiving coming up this weekend. What are you doing for Thanksgiving, man? You just gonna be hanging out, doing your thing?
Yeah, I'm not doing anything. I think I practiced for Talladega with a fried turkey, and it turned out incredible.
Heck yeah.
So I think I just might do it again. I'll practice again, and then when Talladega comes around, I'll be seasoned pro.
Heck yeah, I like that. That'd be good. Heck yeah. So fried turkey, and then I guess maybe another good thing. What is the ideal pie for Thanksgiving? Like what is your go-to
It's
Thanksgiving
pumpkin.
pie? Pumpkin? Oh,
Yeah.
I'd say the same, except I do like a good pecan pie, man. I do
Oh,
like a
really?
pecan pie.
Oh, dude, ugh, I
I
can't.
love it, man. The filling, dude, on a pecan pie, that's the bomb, dude. That's the bomb.
I don't know. Like, to me, it just grosses me out. Well, I don't know. It might be because of my grandfather, because he used to just take the whole thing and just. And I was like, I'm good. I don't want any. You know. But
Oh, that's funny.
but yeah, it's always been. You know what? Groundbreaking news. I am unapologetically a pumpkin spice lover.
Heck yeah, dude.
I like it. I like going to Starbucks, get me a pumpkin spice, a latte, and I like it. I do. And I like pumpkin pie. I don't care. Tastes good to me.
I don't think I've ever had a good pumpkin spice latte though. I guess
Oh,
maybe I have
man.
to go to like a good place to get one. Maybe I'll try one this summer, this holiday season. Give it a
Great.
good effort.
I like it. It's good stuff.
Heck yeah. All right, yeah. I guess if we went over pie, what's like the best side for Thanksgiving? Me
Ooh.
personally, I think stuffing. I do like stuffing.
Ooh. Best side? Um, I don't know, brother. I mean, my mom used to make like this broiled Brussels sprout with like cheese
Oh,
and
dude, that
bacon.
sounds so good, dude. Oh
It
my
was-
goodness, bro.
I really like that. That was really good.
That's like right down my alley, man. I freaking
Yeah.
love Brussels sprouts, dude. That's
Yeah,
sounds
dude.
good as hell.
Put it on a baking sheet, just spread out or cut the Brussels sprouts in half. Spread it out on a baking sheet, cover it with cheese and bacon, and you put it in the broiler and you let it all melt and cook for a little bit, and then you pull it right back out and you're good to go.
Oh, dude, that sounds so good, dude.
Yeah.
I might have to try something like that one of these years, bro. That sounds good.
Yeah,
Heck yeah.
it is.
All right. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have any plans for Thanksgiving. Yeah, I haven't decided, man. I haven't decided. I'm
Chilling.
gonna do some work over the next couple days. I think. Well, yeah, it's Tuesday now, so I don't know. We'll figure it out. Some big time college football games this weekend. I know the boys State Broncos are gonna be seeing what they can do on Friday. They're playing against the Oregon State Ducks or Beavers. I mean, see if they can win. Yeah, so that's probably what I'll do this weekend. Maybe watch a little bit of Boise State football action. See if they can do something good to make us proud here in this little old lonely West Coast state that nobody cares about. But we'll see. All right, man. I think that does it. If you guys want to post your guys' favorite Thanksgiving food or pies or sides or whatever in the chat, let us know, man. That'll be interesting. We'll shake it up a little bit here, but thank you guys again for tuning in, and have an awesome, happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Travel safe, be well, and we'll catch y'all in the next one this weekend. Watch party. They're the Qatar Grand Prix. It's been another awesome episode of the Full Send Half Pass Podcast, episode 98, and we'll catch y'all in the next one.
Hey guys, welcome to my new video. In this tutorial,